There's a side of the spirit world most people are afraid to talk about. After our last episode on ghosts and souls who don't cross over, we realized there was an even deeper layer we haven't explored yet: attachments, negative energy, oppression, possession, and what really happens when spiritual experiences become dark. Welcome, friends, to the gathering place of angels in light. In this episode of Conversation with the Psychic, we're diving into the darker side of paranormal from both a spiritual and grounded perspective. Are some hauntings more than just lost human spirits? Can energy attachment attach itself to people? Why do fear, trauma, and addiction seem connected to paranormal activity? And is possession actually real? Or has Hollywood distorted the truth? This conversation is not about creating fear. It's about understanding the spirit world responsibly, setting energetic boundaries, and learning why healing, awareness, and emotional grounding matter so much spiritually. So take a deep breath and let's step into the unknown. We are Angels in Light, based in Kansas. I am Kim, the co founder of Angels in Light, and I'm an angelic Reiki master and a past life hypnotherapist.
And I'm Patty, co-founder of Angels and Light, also a lifelong psychic medium with a master's in psychology and a mission to combine the esoteric with the science and help people ground that into reality.
Hello, Patty.
Hello.
You ready for this podcast?
I am. I think this topic is so important because people are genuinely experiencing things they can't explain.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think fear and Hollywood have distorted paranormal topics tremendously.
Yes. I mean, I can remember movies as a kid that I still to this day have not watched because my parents said not to. And I think that was The Exorcist. And
Yes.
they said, do not watch it. And I'm like, X old now, and I still haven't seen that movie.
Honestly, I've not seen it either. I
I
refuse to
think,
watch those. And they have
yeah.
these ghost shows now too, and,
Mm-hmm.
and they make them so scary and fearful. And it's all about getting more viewers.
And sometimes you'll try to find a movie to go to at the theater, and it's just scary, scary, fear based. Yeah.
And I want people leaving this conversation feeling informed and empowered, not terrified.
Yeah. So I'm really glad that we're having this topic tonight. So, do you believe that dark entities actually exist?
Yes, but not in the exaggerated Hollywood way. So
Yes.
most paranormal activity is not demonic per se. I even like the word demonic because that is a
Mm-hmm.
way that religion described dark entities. Dark entities are just an expression that is opposite of the light.
That's a good way of saying that.
And they are literally put onto this earth because earth is polarity of
Uh-huh.
lightness and darkness. That
Mm.
is why this is the best earth school, is because we have the extremes of both. And the darkness, these darker energies are literally here just to teach us, to
Yes.
make us grow, to give us experiences of finding our light. They're pushers, they're the growers,
Yes.
the teachers. And they're not
Yes.
something to be feared. They're something to be overcome and something to create boundaries against, but they're not something to fear. And some energies, they feel heavy and draining and manipulative and chaotic. And they're often attracted to addiction and trauma and rage, obsession. And the biggest one's fear. Fear itself feeds the lower energetic states, and discernment is important. And not every shadow or bad feeling is a demon,
Regardless of what Hollywood is putting out there.
regardless of that. Yes.
Mm-hmm. What exactly is a spirit attachment?
A spirit attachment is something that gets in your energetic field. And they're usually attached to your energetic field because of you, your emotional
Mm.
resonance, your addictions, your vulnerability, and your trauma. And people struggling emotionally may become more energetically open and don't have the boundaries or the fields to be strong enough to have these energies not attached to them. And again, it's not something to be feared. It could cause exhaustion and emotional heaviness and intrusive thoughts and nightmares and feeling off. But not
Mm-hmm.
every emotional struggle is spiritual, though. And I want to make that important distinction that not every nightmare or emotional heaviness or exhaustion can be an attachment. It's knowing the difference between your own thoughts and emotions and what is outside of you and having that discernment of knowing what is what.
So if a person would just practice of being more of the light,
Being
um,
more light and shining and being aware of what is your energy and what could be something else. Because
mhm.
someone who's secure and knowing, okay, I've had a bad day, my hormones are off,
Right.
the
Mm-hmm.
stars are misaligned, whatever the cause may be, that does not mean you have a spiritual attachment.
Exactly.
And to be grounded in knowing what is yours and what is not.
So people who struggle with schizophrenia, what would you describe as, would they have attachments
Yeah.
or something different?
Honestly, it's a little bit of both.
Okay.
And it's really hard to describe. So schizophrenia, along the same feelings and alignment as being autistic. It's a different range of where they are spiritually. And so schizophrenia is along the same lines where they're really strong souls. There's something different about their brains and their human anatomy. And so these
Okay.
attachments are more easily attached to them.
So they're more open and like their crown chakra is more open
Yeah. They
and
don't
they're
have
able,
the natural barriers or protection that most people do.
so they could have multiple attachments.
Yes.
How's that different from people who have multiple personality?
So multiple personality is a whole thing on its own. Multiple personality is your human body is a vessel. And think of it like a vase, like it's just this vessel and it has one spirit spark in it. Multiple personalities, it's multiple spirit sparks that go into the same body from birth.
Wow.
Most times they make contracts with each other and maybe there wasn't the bodies available. So maybe the mom was supposed to have quadruplets or multiple children
Ah,
over a period of time. And these souls wanted to come in together and nothing was available. So they just came in the same body.
wow.
And that's, their contract with each other, how to interact and exist in one body.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's just what I've noticed over my experience.
There's another thing that people are curious about is, and that's when they wonder about possession. Do you believe there's possession is actually
I,
real?
that's a hard one too. I think full extreme possession, like you see dramatized heavily in Hollywood,
Uh-huh, yes.
where they're floating on the ceiling, spewing,
Oh,
green goo.
yes, yes. That's
That
the exorcist.
that is incredibly rare, in my opinion.
Thank you. Thank
Um,
goodness.
and that is when someone's soul just leaves the body and goes, "I'm done. Just take it.
Yeah.
Have your will. Do what you want. I'm out of here." But I do believe energetic influence exists. So there's a spectrum. There's emotional influence. So that's like the energy vampires.
Mm-hmm.
That someone influencing you or entity influencing you emotionally. It's like if you're feeling angry thoughts and you can't place why, like you really can't, these are not my thoughts, it's
Mm-hmm.
probably an attachment.
Mm-hmm.
Energetic oppression is another one. So that is when they cause you to not be able to exert your light. Depression is a major one from that.
Oh.
Anxiety. If you're down in the dumps for no reason, say there's absolutely no reason for you to be sad or depressed and you can't figure it out, you probably have an attachment. Obsessive thought patterns, um, like loops and spirals, because that is just like we explained in the last one, that is very ghost like behavior. That's what ghosts do.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have those obsessive thought patterns of being in rage or guilt and can't seem to snap out of it, you're probably picking up on an attachment or an entity or a soul around you. And then personality shifts. I've unfortunately seen this a lot where out of nowhere someone starts acting different and you can't place why. Or even yourself if you start acting different out of nowhere. And those are a little more rare. That's like the possession, but they can shift your personality if they get really attached.
What could someone do to try to, if they aren't sure if it's just, I'm having a bad day or I've decided to have a beer and I never have a beer? I mean, if there's a drastic change in their behavior, what?
Honestly, the most powerful thing you could do is do a check-in with your guides and yourself
Gotcha.
and your angels. Ask them, is this me or is there something not me?
And then just sit and wait for the answer.
Uh-huh. And you'll get it right away. You'll get, no, you're just, your hormones are off balance or
Yeah, you need more sleep.
you need more you need more caffeine.
You need to drink water.
Or it could be like you'll immediately get the nudge, like, nope, that's you got something on you. Go take a
Yeah,
bath, go take a shower,
yeah,
go get the sage out, sage yourself. Or you
yes,
can just ask them directly when you ask, and if they say yes, be like, okay, well, take it off
yeah, true.
to get it rid of it. That is the
Yes.
one I think we touched on this before. Your angels and guides, you have free will. They cannot do anything without your permission.
Mm-hmm.
So I know a lot of people get mad about that, but like, well, I'm not giving you permission because I didn't know about it. But still, they cannot, if they see entities and attachments on you, they can't do anything without you asking for it.
Such a nice feeling that you can just, if you just remember to ask.
Hmm. And they'll come and, clear you and help.
That's lovely. So, how does someone end up with a spirit attachment?
Okay, so they tend to influence vulnerable emotional state.
Mm,
So that's why I avoid bars,
mm-hmm.
um, anything like gambling, anything that tends to have that lower vibration, because
Mm-hmm.
those places tend to attract negative entities like nothing else. They're magnets. They love to hang out there, even like large crowds or anywhere where there's like a vulnerable emotional states that they can feed off of. And severe trauma, addiction, rage, and psychological instability can weaken your boundaries. They create holes and pockets in your natural auras, and they just can slip right in. I mean, I've had personal experience with this myself.
Just recent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got contacted by someone I hadn't heard from in a long time, and they had a energy thing that they sent at me, and it was such, low vibrational state from getting this message that I didn't realize that it slipped through my boundaries. Like it was just there. It took me a full 3 days for me to realize because I was sad and upset after it and depressed and
Mm-hmm.
finally it dawned on me like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
this one
Mm-hmm.
message should not have lasted 3 days and me being this low. And I mean, even me who's had years experience with this, I was finally like, okay, guides
Yeah.
and angels, what's going on? And they immediately, oh, you got something on you. I'm like, oh crap, we'll get it off.
Get it off. Well, and I talked to you, I think it was either day 2 or 3 of that, and I could tell something was off with you. But I
Yeah.
thought, I'm just going to give her a moment. And then you
I
called
wish
and
you would
told,
have said something to me then, because you bringing that to my awareness, maybe I would have got it off sooner.
maybe so, but I thought, whoa,
But knowing this about other people, it's,
yes.
if you notice something's off, you can even
Mm-hmm.
ask them. So, if your boyfriend is suddenly acting out of his character, you can
Mm-hmm.
ask the spirits, is this just him or does he have something on him?
I'll tell you what, moving forward, I'm going to say something to you.
Please do. I'll say so to you too.
Thank you very much. Agreed.
I mean, every tough period and every sad moment, or, that's not what we're saying at all. It's not always an energetic outside influence,
Mm-hmm.
but just to check in and be like, okay, is that you or is that something else?
Yeah. We might want to let everybody know why we're obsessing about ticks right now.
Our land.
Our land. So we bought almost 9 acres in Pleasanton, Kansas. Well, ticks like it a lot, and
Well,
we're
it's very
outnumbered.
overgrown. It's very natural at the moment. We haven't had a chance to do anything with it, and everything's just taken over, including the ticks.
Yep, yep. The ticks. They have little tick motels placed on that land. I swear. So
Oh, and they love taking up residence on you.
yes, they do. They thought they'd go for a little vacation on you. So
Oh man.
yeah, it was. Do you think that some entities feed off of human emotions?
Yes. And that is called parasitic energy. I think lower energies resonate with lower emotional states. So that's why it's so important to keep your vibe high, as we always say. I love that saying.
Yes.
It's not just a loving and light, thing, it's an actual protection. So the more you keep your energy up, the less that you'll get attacked and, fed off of. So
Hmm.
fear, rage, addiction, despair, it all creates this heaviness, and these energies are drawn towards the chaos. They're drawn towards the unhealthiness of it and actually like feed off of it. So when I see it on people on their auras, they're actually draining your energy off of you to feed themselves.
Yeah, that's a good question. So when you see an entity on someone, what is it that you see?
It's a dark shadow. Kind of they differ between like the darker it is, the more oilier, I guess the word. It's almost like an oil puddle. It's like slimy and
Oh,
dark and oily. I don't know how else to describe it.
it moves. It's kind of
And it moves and it slithers and it's slippery. It's not the best looking thing.
so it's no, I don't think so. So is it like a sheen of this over their entire body or just parts of their body?
Parts of your body. That's why I think I was just trying to describe them as ticks because they go into a certain part of your body. And I felt it too. Like if you feel like maybe like a pressure on your back shoulder
Oh.
or a headache on your head, it's probably an attachment there. And
So
again, we're
what?
not saying physical
Right.
ailments or mental health ailments, like that's always connected, that it could show up that way.
So why would they choose certain parts of the body?
It's just where they go.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not for a specific reason. It's just where they slipped in and attach.
So like maybe you're having some discomfort somewhere, like your neck or your back. Will they enter in those areas that where you're already having some maybe tightness or
It could be like if you're in physical pain and it brings your energy down,
mm-hmm.
absolutely. They could
Okay.
slip in right there and go into that spot and make it 10 times worse. The thing is the fear amplifies it. So that's why I'm trying to stay away from the fear because
Mm-hmm.
the energy follows the focus. So if we just
Yeah.
make clear, I'm keeping my boundaries up, nothing's allowed to get on me or in me without my express permission. The stronger your boundaries are, the healthier and more grounded someone is emotionally, the less this is going to happen.
So can attachments stay connected to families or generations?
Energetic patterns can.
Okay.
There's different levels of attachments. So there's the single ones that we just described, like the little black, things. And then
Uh-huh.
there are generational energetic patterns, trauma patterns that repeat through generations.
Mm-hmm.
Certain homes or family lines may experience repeated paranormal activity, and they like to stay with that family because they're stuck in that trauma loop. So, like if someone has, a scarcity lack or a trauma of being beaten through the generations,
Mm-hmm.
that energy is going to stay with that family for a long time because it never got healed. And it's just going to go down through the line as long as that pattern repeats because it's keeping that energy low. So I don't think families are cursed, like the movies portray, but it
Mm-hmm.
absolutely can stay in the cycle until the cycle's healed.
So it's energetic patterns that's being passed on from generation to generation, and how they resolve issues or how they interact with one another.
Yeah. And then that also attracts the, little tick things we described too.
Mm-hmm.
If you're in that pattern of abuse and, negativity and bad things that, can go through the families and the unresolved emotional energies,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to attract more and more of the negative entities. And it's just it keeps going down through the generations.
Right. Lower vibration attached attracts lower vibration.
Mhm.
So what's one of the most unsettling experiences you've had spiritually?
That's a good question. I've had a lot.
I bet you have.
Um, it's hard to unsettle me because I've experienced it my whole life over and over. But I think just recently, the funniest one was I was in line at Taco Bell in the drive-through in my car,
Mm-hmm.
waiting
Yep.
for my tacos.
That's
On
what,
my driver's side window, this bloody ghost comes and just smacks on my window and just starts screaming. And I
uh,
screamed.
oh my gosh.
I was just completely unprepared. Like I'm just dreaming about eating tacos in a couple minutes. And, things like that happen a lot. He told me he just passed in the area from a motorcycle accident. I think it was pretty recent. Again, time's not the same, but to me it felt recent. And he wanted help, contacting his family. And I just want some tacos. I asked him if he wanted to go to the light. But things like that, it is unsettling when you're not expecting it. It's just like someone jumping around a corner and going boo.
Such.
I'm prepared for it when I go to graveyards or, old haunted buildings or even
Mm-hmm.
like downtown, like the older sections. I'm prepared to
Mm-hmm.
see stuff like that. Like you already have your
Yeah.
guard up and you're like, okay, this is but when you're in
Right.
line at Taco Bell. It's not, you're not be prepared.
Well, over the summer, while I was in England, I was staying at this old cottage called Nab Cottage. I was there for a retreat, and I had a dream, but later realized it was not a dream. I emerged with several ghosts and found myself walking through the house of this cottage looking for my friends whom I was in class with, and they were all gone. I was opening doors trying to see them, and instead, I saw men in period clothing all looking at me. They too was as shocked as I was. And I asked them, "Where are my friends?" And they said they've all checked out. And I said, "Well, why am I still here?" And they said they didn't know why I was still here. And then I asked them, "Am I a ghost?" And they said, "No." And I said, "Well, I want to check out now." And so I found myself back in my bed. I've never had such an experience where I actually talked to ghosts. Um, I was it
Yeah.
wasn't astral traveling because I was I actually had conversation with them.
So your spirit actually merged with whatever spirits were earthbound there. And they kind of took you in onto their plane of existence. Yeah, I remember you telling me that story. That's interesting.
It was
And
interesting.
when you're in your dream state, that's when you're, at the thinnest of the veil. So you're more spiritually open, you're
Mm-hmm.
more spiritually, prone to have experiences like that. And that's amazing you remembered it. Just the fact of you
Yes.
remembering it, so vividly makes it more
Yes.
real too.
Yes. It was very real. And when I woke, I said, do not give it much thought because you need to go back to sleep. And
Hmm.
it was a pretty intense workshop I was participating in, and it was a lot of spiritual work. I,
Yeah.
I think they knew who I was, that.
Yeah. And they're just trying to communicate and dreaming when you're in your sleep state. That's for people that have a hard time communicating when they're awake. You
Mm.
go into that, alpha delta stage and they can access you easier in your dream state.
They never said what they wanted from me. I just kept asking them questions. I think they were surprised I was there. They looked surprised, like, how did she know we're here?
They probably were. I get that a lot when I go
Yeah,
into old hotels and I see a ghost and they look at me and then I look at them and they're like, "Are you really looking at me?" And I'm like,
yeah,
"I'm looking at
right.
you." And they're like, "Oh my God."
And you know how much I really loved visiting this cottage, but I don't want to be a ghost in this cottage. So when they said I was not a ghost, I'm like, well, I want to check out. So,
Well, that's another confirmation too. You're not like us. You're not a ghost.
hmm,
Because part of you knew that they were, for you to even ask that question.
exactly.
And so for them to say, no, you're not a ghost, you're, obviously a spirit outside of your body.
Hmm.
You're not like us, and you can check out too. And then you just woke up.
You keep mentioning fear. So, why is fear such a big factor?
So fear invites them in. Fear attracts. Fear lowers your energy and creates energetic chaos and lowers your emotional control. And the more obsessed someone becomes, the more that attention feeds the experiences. So that's why, we talked about not constantly doing Ouija boards or trying to talk to them or having that your focus and your energetic being always focused towards seances and
Yes.
it can become I've seen it can become an obsession and it detracts from you living in a human experience and it creates more attention towards those experiences. So grounded calmness weakens fearful energy and your spiritual authority and boundaries absolutely matter. And so the fear, whether it be religious fear or the Hollywood fear. Some people even get a thrill from it and it can become an addiction almost. Like they
Hmm.
have the thrill of being scared, like, oh, I'm gonna go seek it out. That's just as unhealthy as anything else.
Mm-mm-mm. You will not see me in the graveyard late at night.
But you know what? That's okay. It's okay to be in a graveyard late at night as long as you're not consumed by fear.
Yes, I'll take you with me though. So,
Okay. I can tell you what's around you.
yeah.
No, the point is you can
Yeah.
do and be in these places as long as you have healthy
Right.
authority and boundaries over yourself.
Mm-hmm.
It's when you
Mm-hmm.
slip into that fear and obsession and have a lower energetic state that you're basically just inviting them in. Come on to me and come feed off of me.
So people can accidentally invite dark energy into their homes. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. Welcome is welcoming everything.
Wow.
The number one no, and I wish more people knew this. Do not, do not put a welcome mat
What?
on your no. Those mats that say welcome.
I do know those mats that says welcome.
You are welcoming anything into your home.
Okay, when we end this, I'm running out to my front door.
You don't have a welcome mat in your house, do you? I didn't see it.
I think I have a mat, but I don't know if it says welcome. I think it might be a picture of a bicycle or something. Yeah.
With the arrow pointing.
Yeah.
You're literally saying that. And also, when you use divination tools in your home without protection, always be careful and have discernment about who you're calling in and who you're divining. Experimentation is just unhealthy obsession, is just creating this like open portal that can just call anything in. Curiosity is okay, but just lack of boundaries is the problem.
Lack of boundaries.
Hmm.
And that practice is good for even those who may or may not have spiritual attachment. That's just overall good housekeeping. I know we've talked about this before, but I like to bring it up again about how can someone clear negative energy or attachment safely?
Stop feeding the fear, stay calm, ground yourself emotionally and physically. Speak with authority and call on your guides and your angels, first of all.
Hmm.
They're there to help and support. And like we said before, unless you call on them, they can't help.
And if you don't know which
And
angel to call, always call on Archangel Michael,
yeah, he's the best
protector.
protectors, or just any angel in general.
Just say
The
angels.
word angel itself will come and help. To clean the energy of the home first, okay. A lot of people forget to open the windows.
Oh my gosh, that's true because you recycle all that.
You're literally chasing the ghost around your home or the entity around your home in circles,
Gosh, what a cartoon.
isn't it? And so
Yeah.
if you're using sage or incense, music, light, prayer, all of
Mhm.
this, make sure the windows or the doors or something's open so that energy can leave and call in the good energy back in. And don't forget to do it to yourself too. You're doing
Mhm.
it to your home, do it to yourself. Like run the sage stick over yourself while you're at it.
That's a great idea. You know, for all these graduation parties, birthday parties been going on lately. I mean, that is great advice. I actually needed to do that to my home.
Sure. You're bringing in all these, outside energies, which is not bad, but they have, connections to other people, and those people have connections to other people, and it's just a lot of energy that should not be in your sacred home space. And you don't know what attachments or anything these people have. And so it's just like cleaning your sheets. If someone sleeps in your bed, you don't sleep in the bed right after them. You clean the sheets first.
It's true.
So just to clear the energy and clear it out and not invite everything in. It's pretty simple.
So, two things to remember: no welcome mats, and open your windows.
Exactly. Very important.
You know, a lot of people report seeing shadow figures during sleep paralysis. What are your thoughts about that?
I love this topic, and I've always been fascinated by this. I think the shadow figures are literally either your guides or yourself. Sleep paralysis, when you leave your body, your soul, when you sleep, your soul leaves your body and you're connected by a silver cord. A lot of people have described this in their NDEs, through science. It's a silver cord that connects to your spirit from your body. Unless you passed on, that silver cord breaks. But when you sleep, you have this cord that keeps you attached.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times with these is your body awakens before your soul can get back into your body. So many people report pressures on the chest, like they can't move, they're feeling watched, the tense fear, because the body literally feels like it's going to die because the spirit's not in it yet.
Wow.
A lot of these shadow figures, like I hear reports of like, oh, they had black eyes or the hat man, or they were in the room with me when I woke up. Those are
Mm-hmm.
your guides you're seeing, or it's
Oh.
or it's your actual spirit that's trying to get back in your body, your brain. is not computing and going, oh my God, that's, this or that. It's just, your soul hasn't integrated back in your body yet.
So, of course, fear is the first thing we think of.
Well, your
I,
body literally thinks it's dying. And the fear amplifies the experience tremendously because you think you're gonna die, you can't
yeah,
move, your spirit's not in your body, and I'm dying. I'm literally dying.
right.
So I encourage people just to stay grounded. Your spirit's going to come back. It's rushing as fast as it can. It was probably off in a far off land, world somewhere, flying around.
Thought it had time, but no, you had to go potty.
Uh-huh. And your eyes just opened up a few minutes before your spirit can come back in.
That's fascinating. Have you ever experienced that yourself?
I have not. I've
I have
never had
not
this
either.
happen. But I've had lots of clients who have, and they've always asked me this. And as soon as I tell them what's happening, it's just like this aha light bulb, like, oh, that makes complete sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just resonates. Like that's it. It was my spirit wasn't in my body.
And it doesn't last very long, right?
No. Few minutes at the most. Yeah, maybe they're having a really important conversation with the past loved one on the other side, and
Yeah,
they
don't
need to
rush
get those
me.
last bits, and they're sitting looking at their body like, just give me a few minutes.
Go back to sleep.
Why are you awake?
You human body, you.
I mean, it could be full for multiple reasons, but your body, it doesn't know the difference. It's like going, okay, I have this
Yeah.
hollow feeling in my chest. My spirit's not in me. Oh my goodness, I'm about
Mm.
to pass. I'm about to die.
That would be
And
very scary. I'm really glad we're having this topic because I've not had this conversation
you
with you
haven't either.
before. Yeah. I mean, I've heard of people having these experiences.
It's very common, very, very common. A lot of people have had this. They can't move. They're just literally feel like they're tied to the bed or something's sitting on them. It can, how they describe it sounds terrifying. I mean, I don't blame them
Yes.
for being afraid. Like it sounds absolutely terrifying. But I think it would help knowing that it's going to be okay. All the scary stuff is just literally your brain making up all
Mm-hmm.
these scenarios because it thinks you're dying.
Yes.
As soon as your spirit comes back in your body, you'll be fine. You'll be completely okay.
Can objects carry spiritual energy?
Absolutely. So, objects can hold not only emotional imprint energy,
Mm-hmm.
it can hold the residue from energy, but it can also hold an actual spirit attached to it.
Right.
So, like we were talking about before, in certain places, is it a residual haunting where it's the energetic imprints or an intelligent haunting? And the same thing can happen just like in houses and residents and land and places. It can happen with objects too, especially antiques, jewelry, mirrors, heirlooms, and items connected to trauma. That's a big one. So, say someone was unalived early and there was a mirror in the room, that mirror will hold on to that energy. Mirrors are portals, by the way, anyways, but they have a tendency to hold on a lot of energy. I'll never buy a used mirror ever.
Oh. So is this why they cover mirrors when people die? Like in the
Hmm.
old days?
Yeah, they don't want, the energy to go into the mirrors.
So if you buy a new mirror at the store, you should
A
probably,
new mirror is okay. You can buy an old mirror, you just have to cleanse it and make sure there's no residual energy attached to it, which more than likely it will have.
right, like an antique estate sale.
Uh, Sensitive people may feel like the heaviness of it, emotions, the mood shifts. But when an intelligent energy is attached to it, it can attach to an object just like it can to a place. So say like it was their favorite hairbrush and they died in the 1800s, they can attach that hairbrush and just wherever it's passed around, they're going with it, or a doll. And
But
the
this,
same can happen with the negative energies too. So
mm-hmm.
just like how negative entities can attach to people, they can attach to objects too.
So would these be spirits that did not go to the light, though?
Yes. Yep. Intelligent hauntings, intelligent souls that
Hmm.
do not go to the light, and also negative entities. But you can clear it just like you would a home or yourself. Just ask for it to be cleared. If it's small enough, dunk it in salt water.
Oh, yeah, salt water. That's a good one.
Salt water is a really good one. You can sage it, incense it. You can clear it. Like when I go thrifting, I won't bring anything that I thrifted inside my front door until it's saged. It's a practice I've had for years and years. Just nope, it's not allowed in my home
Hmm.
until we sage it. I have my little sage stick by the door, and you just sage it real quick and make sure it's cleared, clean, and then it can come in.
I need to have this conversation with my daughter. She loves to go thrifting. She's bringing clothes in. That
Surprisingly, clothing is not as susceptible.
okay, good to know.
Yeah, clothing is okay because
It's
it's such
because
a, I guess, like a fleeting thing that people use. Like they'll just
mhm,
wear it here and there. It's not something that has a heavy emotional attachment.
got it. I see the difference.
You see the difference?
Yeah, I do.
Like grandpa's favorite clock that he had in his living room that he stared at every single day and tinkered with and,
Yes,
loved. He's
yes,
gonna choose that to attach himself to because he knows it's going to, first of all, stand the test of time. No one's going
right.
to get rid of a big old clock. That's probably why they don't attach to clothing because, I mean, you can just throw that in the trash and was the ghost going to go to the landfill?
Yeah. No, I'm going to go to a nice, comfortable home and watch these families.
So they tend to attach to things that are more heavy and sturdy and people aren't going to get rid of, like
Yeah,
painting. Paintings are a big one, like nice big furniture, toys and dolls, things that people will use through the generations because they know that it's safer.
that is very interesting. Do you think that there are certain places that are more spiritually active?
I do. And we kind of touched on this before too, but
Hmm.
what we didn't touch on was the thing called portals.
No, we did not.
Uh-huh. So some locations feel extremely energetically charged, and it's places that are connected to tragedy, death, rituals, emotional intensity. These places, they tend to, because it's so emotionally charged and energetically charged, it almost makes the veil thinner and it
Oh,
has thinner energetic boundaries. So the two different dimensions, the barrier between the two is just thinner. That's why they're called portals. So things can come through and you can see more, coming through easier there.
so where would we,
So
what
like
would,
your Nab cottage, that's probably has a huge portal there. That's
okay.
why when you had your dream, they could
Hmm.
more easily contact you.
Yes, and
It was so much more vivid.
other people at the cottage also had experiences, but not that detailed as I did.
Yeah. Places like that, are older and have had more energies over the years and more people lived there and died and passed over
Hmm.
and decided to stay. They create these energetic, it's like a swirl. It's like just like a, not a chaos, but it's more dense. It's more living, like full. That's why there's portals.
Like, what about the morgue that was attached to that crystal shop? Would that be considered
More,
a portal, or that just residuals?
well, that was the individual and the residual.
Okay, not a portal.
Not necessarily a portal. Not every place has a portal. I've seen, I mean, portals could happen, and there's a lot of, it doesn't necessarily have to be bad. It could be good things too. Like I've seen portals in spiritual places, like Sedona, Mount Shasta. I've seen portals in beautiful high vibration places too. So it's just where a lot of energy at a lot of time, whether it be bad or good, come together all at once, and it creates this kind of like not a rip, but a thinning of the veil
I see.
because there's so much energy that's just, accumulated in one area.
I'm sure Mount Shasta has a lot.
It does, has a lot of portals, and so does
So
Sedona, and so does Joshua Tree.
true. Yes.
A lot of places have them, and some are good, and some are not good. Vegas has a lot of negative
Not good.
portals.
What do you see when you see a portal, whether it's good or bad? What do you see?
A vortex.
So
It's
like
like,
a s-
how you see that, what are those called in the water? What is that called?
I can't think of it, but I know you're talking about it. So swirly that goes downward.
Yeah, I remember like in the movies it always sucks down the ships.
I was thinking about Doctor Strange. You know, he swirls, opens up a portal, and they jump in.
That is actually very, very good comparison because that's
It's
pretty much what it is. It's like a swirly, big, energetic. It just kind of goes in a circle and gets from big to small.
how would a person know if they walk through a portal?
They would feel tingly probably on their body.
Mm-hmm.
They experience spirit activity more intensely there.
Mm.
So someone who, usually doesn't have any experiences, if they do, there's probably a portal there. They can dream more vividly. If you fall asleep near a portal, then
Oh.
your dreams are going to be, like quote unquote not dreams, and you're
Right.
actually seeing things, or your dreams are going to be very vivid. You can remember past lives. It's that thinning into the veil. And when you're already thin from dreaming, you're kind of going into that same energetic frequency.
Would it, if you visit a place with a lot of portals, high vibration, would it help you relax more and that you tend to sleep longer?
Yes. Or it could do the opposite. It
Oh,
depends on,
true. Ramp you up.
it could ramp you up too, where you have a hard time sleeping.
Yes, I've experienced both.
So the high vibe energy portals, that's when it opens up your third eye. You can have more direct connection with the other side. So with your guides, a lot of people
Mhm.
love going to these places for meditation because it activates and makes it easier to cross the boundary between you and your guides and your angels and past loved ones. That's why so many people like to, come together around these because it just
Mhm.
makes it easier for them to access spirit world.
That's very nice. When I was in Sedona in March for spring break, I slept 9 to 10 hours a night.
Aww.
And that's a very, very special place for me. So
Well,
now I
you're
know
probably
why.
off having whole conversations and visiting all your loved ones that have passed over. And that's probably why you
Hmm.
slept so long.
Yes.
You were out of your body just going off on adventures.
It's a very, very special place for my loved ones who's no
Yeah.
longer with us. Why do some spirits seem angry or aggressive?
So emotional energy continues the same as here after death initially. And if they don't go to the light, they're still carrying the same emotions they have had here, when they crossed over. So if they had confusion or jealousy or addiction, rage, it's still the same. It's just amplified. And then a lot of times they, like we said, I think the last one, they get stuck in that energetic loop where they become frustrated because they cannot communicate. And then they get stuck in this rage, shame, grief cycle where and blame and it just goes around and around in a circle and they just get worse and worse and worse.
No peace.
And a lot of times, a lot of them honestly don't even know if they passed. So like, for example, my grandfather passed 3 years
Uh-huh.
ago. It was a pretty quick ending. He fell and it wasn't like a peaceful
Oh,
ending. He decided to stay and they had, cremated him and had his ashes on the mantle. And when night, his daughters were in the living room under the mantle in his home, and they were just talking. Apparently, they were talking about the family, and it wasn't, you know how girls can get. They can
Yes.
gossip and they're talking about the past and stuff that if he had heard when he was alive would make him not very happy and honestly pretty upset.
Yes, yes.
And all of a sudden he had this huge marble console table that was
Wow.
up against the wall, and it cracked in half and just cracked and
Gee.
fell on the floor. And everyone just got up and started screaming, terrified. Oh my gosh, how did that happen?
Yeah.
And he was upset that he was stuck. He, wanted to move on, but the a funeral or nothing's happened yet. So they were kind of waiting for things to kind of settle and lawyers and everything was just kind of on hold at that point. How are we going to settle things? So his
Mm-hmm.
ashes were still up there and they hadn't decided what to do with them yet. And he felt like he couldn't move on. And so he got so upset by that conversation that he used and I forgot to mention it was a full moon that night too,
Oh, wow.
but he used all of his energy and everything and all that grief and that rage and that anger about his situation and how he died. And he just directed at that table crack.
Wow.
And so when I talked to him, when they told me what had happened, he asked, "Can you guys, do something with me? I'm just sitting up on this mantle. I'm stuck here. I feel like I can't move on.
Hmm.
I would love to be somewhere peaceful." And so they did. They split it and they each did their own thing and put him out in his favorite areas, his favorite fishing hole and waterfall and places he loved to go. And he was able to move on and go through the light.
Oh, that's a beautiful story.
Finally found peace. But a lot of them get that where they get so frustrated. The emotional energy comes across as angry or aggressive, and it may scare you. But a lot of
Mm-hmm.
times you're just looking for peace.
Mm-hmm.
Or why am I here? What
Yes.
is happening? Why can't I move on?
Right.
And just,
So,
even having like a little ceremony or something where you can say, it's time to, I release you. It's time for you to move on, where it will be okay. That
mm-hmm.
in itself is beautiful and one of the best things you could do for them. Even if you can't let go and you do decide to hold on to their ashes, doesn't mean you have to let the ashes go. But if finding a place that is meaningful, that they loved, that you can go and talk to them and celebrate them, that'll release
Mm.
them too.
So you can keep the ashes, but you could go to their favorite place and bond with them.
And bond with them and say it's okay for you to go on. We're okay. A lot of times, they'll stay because they think make sure you're okay. And so if you just literally say, "Well, I'm okay," you can move on. They will.
And if anyone suspects that this is the situation within their home, they don't need a psychic medium to do the communication. Just,
And that's why we're talking about this. Yeah.
yeah, good information is great information.
They can absolutely do it themselves. Everyone has this ability. People give fear too much power. One of the things we're kind of raised on, Hollywood, and to fear all this and, religious things and it's demons and awful and possessions. And it's not true.
No,
Nothing can do anything to you that you don't let.
yes. Only thing that is real is love.
Love, healing, boundaries, and emotional grounding are stronger than darkness.
Curiosity without fear is where real understanding begins. Make sure to subscribe and leave a review and share this episode with someone who loves paranormal and spiritual topics. We'll see you next time on Conversations with the Psychic.